Well, hello C++ programmers. Brian Malloy here, and this is a short introductory video about Lambda functions. So what I'm going to do is write a couple of Lambda functions, stressing the parameter transmission mode for the functions, and I'll compare them to a function object. Okay, so what are we starting with here? Well, I have a vector called, amazingly enough, vec, with 5 items, 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and write a Lambda function to print them. So we'll use auto here, and I'll replace it later. We're going to write a Lambda function called print with an empty capture clause, a parameter x by value, and we'll just go ahead and print these guys. So we're going to print an x, and we'll put some spaces in there just for the heck of it. Okay, so there's my Lambda function. Here it is. I'm using auto. I'll replace that and show you what that stands for in a moment. The name of I'm giving it a name. I could inline it, but I'm going to give it a name called print. This is the capture clause, which I'll explain in a subsequent video. For now, I'm going to just pretend I'm going to keep it empty and not use it really. Here's the parameter list. I've got one parameter x by value, and I print that parameter. So let's go ahead and write a for each loop to use them. So we're going to have a for each item in the vector, vec.begin, vec.end. I better focus here and print. Let me explain what this is going to do. Hold it. Okay, so this is a for each loop that's going to apply this Lambda function print to each item in vec, starting with the beginning of the vector and ending at the end. Actually, vec.end points beyond the vector, but that's okay. This will all work out fine. So let's see if this works. So we're going to print them. Okay, so let's compile it. Lo and behold, it as my grandmother used to say, it compiles, and we print them. So let's just separate out the Lambda function. There you see it. I'm declaring the Lambda function here with auto print. Let's get rid of this so you'll see what that looks like. So this is an std function. It's a templated function, then the return type is void because I'm not returning anything. Here's the parameter list. So it's std function, which is in this library right here, functional. Function, sorry about that. Function, its returning, its return type is void, and this is the parameter list. There's one parameter by value. So that's, if you like to type, that's what you do. So it does the same thing. It's just that I've spelled out what auto stands for. Maybe that's some intuition about for why the compiler writers decided to put the word auto in the ISO committee decided to put the word auto in the C++ language. Let me write one more, because here I'm showing pass by reference. Let me write one more. I'm going to use auto this time, and I'm going to write a Lambda function called triple, and we'll still have an empty capture clause, but now we'll pass the parameter x by reference. Okay, so we're going to say no, we don't. We say x times equals 3, and we're going to triple the parameter. So we're going to accept a parameter, and we're going to multiply it by 3 basically. So let's go ahead and triple these guys. I'll triple these. Let me come over here, compile this, and run it, and now I've tripled each item. So what I'm trying to show you here is that in this case, I passed the parameter by value. In this case, I passed the parameter by reference. Now, in a subsequent video, I'll explain some things about capture clauses. And once again, we have to be mindful of our transmission mode for parameters. Okay, let me just now compare the Lambda function to function objects, because I think one of the motivations for a Lambda function is that you can replace function objects, which used to be used a lot with find ifs, sort, routines for use in the standard template library. Let me go ahead and write a function object. Let me write it first so I don't make too many mistakes. Let me write it, and let me just keep writing. Okay, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. And this is going to be an int ampersand x. It's a const function, x times equals 3. Okay, so Here's a function object. A function object is an instantiation of a class where that class has an overloaded call operator. There's the call operator, or overloaded paren operator if you wish. So that's a function object. A little more scaffolding to a function object than there is to a lambda function. So most people prefer lambda functions because they're so quick and dirty. Let me go ahead and use the function object now, just so you can see that one works. Here I'm going to, so now what am I going to do? So I've got a function object just to compare them really to lambda functions. So this function object is going to do the exact same thing that this lambda function triple here does. And so first I'm going to apply the lambda function to each item in the vector. Then I'm going to apply the function object to each item in the vector, and then I'm going to print them, so they're going to get tripled twice. Let's see if it compiles. It does, and it does triple them twice. Okay, so let me just quickly summarize. This is a brief introduction to lambda functions where I focus mostly on parameter transmission, pass by value, pass by reference. We can also pass objects by constref. And I've shown you the convenience of the word auto, and I've compared a function object to its, I've compared a function object to its lambda counterpart, just to form a basis of comparison. Okay, that's lambda functions and also function objects. Happy programming. Brian Malloy, over and out.